Tia, for the last year or so, it felt like the stock market had basically turned into a one-horse race. If you weren't talking about AI, you weren't really talking about anything. But recently, the mood has shifted. It feels like the music stopped, and everyone is scrambling for a different chair.
That is the perfect way to describe it. We are seeing a genuine pullback. The buy anything with AI in the name phase is definitely cooling off. But the interesting part isn't just that people are selling, it's where that money is going instead. It's not leaving the market, it's just changing shape.
Right? Because for a while, the valuations on some of these tech giants were getting frankly astronomical. It felt like investors were pricing in a future that was 10 years away, but paying for it today. So what triggered the cold feet? Why now?
It comes down to one classic business question. Show me the money. We've seen hundreds of billions of dollars poured into capital expenditure, buying chips, building models, hiring talent. But investors are finally looking at the balance sheets and asking, okay, where are the profits? The spending is massive, but the monetization, it's lagging.
That makes sense. It's like building the world's most expensive amusement park, but you haven't actually sold enough tickets yet to pay for the roller coasters.
Exactly. And that anxiety is driving what we call a rotation. Investors are moving away from the high-flying, high-valuation software and AI leaders, and they are parking their cash in something much more tangible. They're looking for stability.
And that brings us to the infrastructure play. I keep hearing this term. It sounds boring, honestly. We're talking about the nuts and bolts, right?
Boring is beautiful right now. Think about it this way. During the gold rush, the people who got consistently rich weren't necessarily the gold diggers. It was the guys selling the shovels and the jeans. Today, the shovels are data centers, power equipment, and industrial machinery.
So instead of betting on the AI brain, we are betting on the body it lives in?
That's a great analogy. You can't have a digital brain without a physical body. We are talking about the companies that build the data center walls, the firms that manufacture the cooling systems so the servers don't melt, and the utilities that generate the electricity.
The electricity demand is something that really blows my mind. I read somewhere that a single AI query uses significantly more power than a standard Google search.
Significantly more. And that's why power equipment is such a huge part of this rotation. You have investors piling into companies that make transformers, grid technology, and backup generators. Then you have the optical components, the high-speed cables that let these massive computers talk to each other. And don't forget storage. All that data has to live somewhere.
It's fascinating because it feels like a return to reality. We spent so much time in the cloud, literally and metaphorically, and now the market is remembering that physics exists. You need copper, you need concrete, and you need electricity.
Precisely. These are the foundational beneficiaries. They make money whether the AI model writes a best-selling novel or just hallucinates nonsense. The data center has to be built regardless. That's the safety net investors are looking for.
But let me play devil's advocate here. Is this just a temporary hiding spot, or is this a long-term trend? Because eventually the AI companies have to make money, or they stop building data centers, right?
That is the multi-billion-dollar question. In the near term, this diversification is going to continue. The gap between spending and earning in AI is going to take time to close. While that gap exists, infrastructure is king.
And the long-term?
Long-term, everything depends on monetization. If the tech giants can prove that AI actually generates massive profits, the money might rotate back to them. But if profits lag, if it turns out that AI is revolutionary but hard to monetize, then infrastructure could keep outperforming for a long time.
Because the physical assets still have value.
Right, but there is a philosophical warning here too. If the gold rush ends because nobody finds gold, eventually the shovel store goes out of business too. The infrastructure boom is tied to the belief that AI will eventually pay off. If that belief shatters, everything falls.
That is a sobering thought. We are terraforming the economy for a digital future, assuming the digital future pays the rent.
It's a massive gamble. But for now, the smart money prefers the people pouring the concrete over the people writing the code.
Well, it's certainly a reminder that in finance, as in life, sometimes the most exciting thing you can be is reliable. We'll be watching closely to see if the shovels keep selling. Thanks for breaking this down.
Always a pleasure. Let's see what the market does tomorrow.